Karol Gilligan's landmark book, In a Different Voice, was published in 1982. She began studying the choices of women about abortion immediately following the Roe v. Wade Supreme Court decision in 1973. During her discussions with women, Gilligan found that previous moral development theory was based almost entirely on the white male perspective. Gilligan sought to establish that girls and women approach moral decisions differently than the male researcher-defined norm. A student of Kohlberg, Gilligan argued that women's important moral decisions were typically based not on their own deepest feelings, but on the highly respected rules of the patriarchal culture that enveloped them. Ripped from the headlines, we use the following story to illustrate the 3 stages of moral development that Gilligan outlined. We enter the scene after Officer Mary has pulled over a suspected DUI, who is Police Chief Kyle's brother. While the suspect is handcuffed in the back of the car, Officer Mary gets a call from her boss, Chief Kyle, and her coworker, Officer Lexie.
Leave a message at the tone. Beep. Hello? Officer Replaceable? This is Police Chief Kyle. How do we know this is Police Chief Kyle? You see this beard? That makes me Police Chief. And my name's Kyle. A little birdie came and told me who you have handcuffed. So, despite the fact that I am not now, nor have I ever been employed as an educator, allow me to offer you some pre-service knowledge. Now, if it were me in your situation, I would employ some good old Kohlberg Stage 5 social contract, or even Stage 6 universal principles logic. Good old man's morals. For men. But I hear you're into this Gilligan nonsense, so allow me to remind you about Stage 1 of Gilligan's morality chart, survival orientation. Allow me to remind you about the most basic kind of caring there is, Officer Replaceable, where you as a person are concerned, first and foremost, primarily with your own welfare. Allow me to remind you that the morally good choice here creates the least stress for you and causes your life the least amount of disruption. So if it was not already clear, you are going to make this go away. Police officer made Police Chief Kyle and his beard out.
Officer Maley, yeah, I just got all the information that you sent in on the DUI. Are you aware that he's related to the chief? If this were to get out, you know the press would be all over this, especially with what happened last month from the chief. Think about it this way. No one was hurt, and if this gets reported, both of them could lose their jobs. They both have families. Who's going to look after them? If they lose their jobs or even go to jail, you know the precinct isn't going to pay for anything. Yes, our community has a big issue with drunk driving, but no one was hurt this time, so you should probably just, let it go. Give them a ride home. That way nothing else could happen. Just think about it. You don't want to ruin their lives.
Okay. I gotta practice what I'm gonna say to these guys, or I'm never gonna be able to ascend to Stage 3 of Gilligan's framework of integrated care. I'll be stuck forever with Kohlberg's moral judgments of the patriarchy. Police Chief Kyle, you might be stuck in the survival operational stage and only care about yourself, but I'm going to be making the more morally developed choice. I will not do what's best for me. I swore an oath to protect and serve my community, not my job. Investigator Lexie, of course I care about the police chief and his brother and their families. Of course I'm worried about how this is going to make the fictional university police department look. But how can I make the conventional care argument about what to do without acknowledging my I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make Dr. Karol Gilligan's Stage 3 integrated care choice here. I'm gonna do what's best for me and what's best for my community. I'm gonna arrest the chief's brother. And I'm gonna turn in Police Chief Kyle and his beard to internal affairs. Although, in America's current policing climate, nothing might be done about it, I still have to make the morally best decision.
Hi, this is Carol Dixon, and I'm reporting live tonight from KMAT. Following up from the recent corruption stories at the FUPD and Officer Mary's courageous decision-making, I wanted to share some of the important takeaways that we have from Karol Gilligan's moral development theory. Although there's some disagreement with her claims that men and women differ in their moral reasoning, there's still some things that were really groundbreaking and remain today. First, Kohlberg, Erikson, and Freud's systems were male-centered. Second, there's more than one dimension of moral reasoning. And third, it's important to connect moral decision-making back into concerns about self and the social environment. Thanks for tuning in tonight, and have a good evening.